hottest wrestling action in the world. With the American Wrestling Federation, I'm Nick Karsh along with Terry Taylor. And Terry, this is a great week.
Yeah, we're going to have the tag team pairings scheduled to appear. The Z-Man, Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. Hughes and Hercules, Charlie Norris, the Native American, the Destroyer, and also your favorite wrestler, Ron Howard, and a plethora of others.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, let's turn it over to our ring announcer, Billy Anderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 509 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, the team of the Southern Posse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the team of the Southern Posse, Sonny and Junior, about to make their way to the ring. Who is Sonny and who is Junior? I know you did your homework.
That's Sonny Trout, the first one, and Junior Thweet, the one without any teeth. Boy, I'll tell you what, they must be tough. No teeth, scars all over them. Tell me you wouldn't like to fight those guys, Karsh.
I would not like to fight those guys. Trust me.
Atlanta, Georgia with that flag? Boy, you're in a great mood today, aren't you?
I am. I'm fired up.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 530 pounds. They are the Chippewa Indian Charlie Norris and his partner, the Z-Man.
Here we go. Charlie Norris, the Chief himself, and the Z-Man. And may I add, of course, and you know I will, from the state of Minnesota.
Oh, I'm going to lose my lunch. I can't believe you got to come out here and on the first match have Chief Charlie Norris at 6'7", 300 pounds, and the Z-Man, 6'2", 237 pounds. A great wrestler. I wrestled the Z-Man. Of course, I beat him, but I wrestled him.
I know you did. I've watched that tape several times.
Yeah,
oh, look at Charlie now. He's going right into the war dance. And the team of Trout and Thweet, I'm going to mess that up at some point during this match. I'm going to mess that up. Already, they head for higher ground. The Chief has them upset. Now, apparently, now, you said this is this Mr. Thweet or is this Mr. Trout?
Yes. The one on the left is Thweet. The one with the mohair sweater on the right, that's Sonny Trout. He's trying to lure him into the corner.
He's baiting him, in other words. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly right. You took that hook, line, and sinker.
Bada bing bang. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Warriors of Wrestling and the American Wrestling Federation coming at ya. This Z-Man is so tremendously popular wherever and whenever he appears in an arena. And of course, and I know this kind of sticks in your craw a little bit, another who's very popular with the female contingent of the wrestling fans.
There's plenty of girls to go around, as long as there's guys like you to chase them to us there. Big Karsh.
Ducks the clothesline, great drop kick. Oh, Z-Man right on the money. And once again, works in behind now with the hammerlock. Tom Zink, oh, that time he caught the thumb right in the eye.
Yeah, speaking of something in your eye, let's right now go to my favorite segment. It is called the Warriors Corner.
First of all, let Coco and myself thank all the fans out there with the American Wrestling Federation for supporting us all this way. Our name is in the list. It's in the hat, brother. So me, Coco and myself, we're going to be ready to get down and boogie, woogie, oogie.
That's right. We beat a good team, Tommy, Rich, and Valentine, so we get ready to go to the top.
Well, indeed, that was a tremendous victory over the team of Greg the Hammer Valentine and luscious Tommy Rich. And you just know that Coco Beware and Mr. USA would love to be in that championship tournament. The pairings, the drawings coming up a little bit later on. Terry, this is great.
Yeah, the whole concept of a tournament is unbelievable. Last week, Coco and Mr. USA got a win over Valentine and Rich. But why have we not seen Chief Charlie Norris in here? Z-Man looks like he's trying to hog the spotlight a little bit, a fellow Minnesotiite.
Well, I'm not sure that is the intent of the Z-Man. To this point, at least, the team of the Southern Posse has cut off the ring a little bit, but now there's a tag, and our first look at Chief Charlie Norris this week. Oh, big chop right to the top of the head, and another one. And down goes Junior Thweet, and here, getting it right between the eyes, Sonny Trout, and the Chief has cleared the ring. Man, oh man.
Look, this is your favorite guy here. I'll tell you what, Chief right here doing the dance, cleaning out the ring. Looks like old Sonny Trout swimming upstream against the Chief.
Oh, I can't take it. We could probably do several of those, but let's be professional and pay attention to business, as Charlie Norris better do here. He caught a boot right to the midsection. Off the rope. Oh, big shoulder tackle.
Boy, you don't realize how big Charlie Norris is. He's 6'7", he's 300 pounds, and he just got mowed over with that shoulder block. Great leverage move there by Green, who's now stepping out, tagging in Sonny Trout.
You know, I have to say, to this point at least, you've got to give credit to the team of the Southern Posse. They've cut off the ring, and they are really doing a number on both the Z-Man and Chief Charlie Norris.
I think Charlie's weight may be hurting him a little bit here. He came in like a house of fire. You get that plate cam shot, like you're almost in there. Some guys think you need to be big and strong. Some guys need to be quick. Well, maybe Charlie. Well, here we go. He's fighting back. That turnbuckle, that pad looks like it's rotated down a little bit. That's dangerous.
Well, let me tell you something about Charlie Norris. I've known him for a long time. He has tremendous heart, and he's not going to give up. We are down under a half minute here in the opening round. Off the ropes and a double elbow. Sonny Trout caught it right to the sternum. And now, can the Z-Man put him away? Oh,
that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Absolutely.
He married him over to his own corner. That was a tactical error. He just took him to his own corner. Maybe it's because of that eye gouging. He was upset about it.
Well, very possibly. Oh, and a Sonny Trout from the outside. And Terry, everything backfired on Z-Man in the final seconds of round one.
Yeah, but this won't backfire. Let's go to a Warrior's corner.
Every time I turn around, somebody's trying to stab my boys in the back. I'm getting real sick and tired of it. You know something? I've got the two best wrestlers in the world today. Luscious Tommy Ricks, the blonde hair is just flying all over, and Greg the Hammer Valentine, speed, muscle, and purely brains, baby. You know something? Every time I look, President Paul Alperstein is trying to stick it in my back. I don't understand why. I've never done anything to hurt anybody in my life. All we want to do is wrestle. We're the best tag team wrestling team in the world today. The American Wrestling Federation has seen nobody better than us. The tag team tournament. Our names better be in there. I've got a plan. I've got an idea. The belts are coming around the waist of the family.
Well, would you say he's just a little bit upset? Rico Suave, you know, his team, their names are still in the computerized tournament here for the pairings. He's whining about it, for heaven's sakes. They got beat last week, but they're still in it.
Yeah, they are, and that's what's so great about this computerized selection process. Everybody's in it. And right here, Z-Man getting handled pretty good by Junior Thweet. Tags in Sonny Trout. Boy, they're taking it too, Z-Man.
Well, as I said a few moments earlier on, Terry, I am very impressed with this combination. They are, as you said, doing a number on both. Oh, wait a minute. Little misfire there.
Look at Sonny Trout. He's hurt.
Oh, man.
Z-Man's hurt. Whatever that move was, Z-Man either blocked it the wrong way or they don't have it down because somebody's hurt.
Oh. Caught him right underneath the throat with that kick and drills him with the elbow.
I'll tell you what competition here on the American Wrestling Federation. Round system. You have 3 4-minute rounds. The referee makes a decision who wins if it goes through the time limit. Disqualification for touching Jesse Hernandez, the referee, or throwing over the top rope. Well, I'll tell you what, the Southern Posse is really doing well here.
Oh! Head first into the canvas. And I am absolutely in shock here. Zink and Norris really, and this is interesting. Charlie Norris actually had to enter the ring and make the save, protect his partner there and prevent the pinfall. And to this point in time, if you're scoring on points, clearly you've got to give the nod to the Southern Posse.
Yeah, during the break, during the 1-minute rest period, Jesse Hernandez showed us his scorecard. And he had the Southern Posse ahead. Charlie Norris a little slow coming in.
I noticed the same thing. He's a little tentative, but now, he's unloading with those chops. And this crowd is going crazy. Oh, they are behind the Chief. Oh, man. Level them like an oak tree, and here we go. He catches the other man on the outside of the ring. You can't stop Charlie Norris now. Look out.
Nobody's safe. He's hitting everybody. Oh, he bent over too quick. And look at the resilience of this Southern posse. Right here, Junior Tweet grabs that side headlock. Z-Man, who's still a little wobbly, over the top rope.
Oh, wait a minute. He stopped short, but Norris with the big tomahawk chop. Right on the bridge of the nose. And now Zink, Z-Man, here we go. From the top.
Boy, I've seen that move before. Your favorite, the Z-Dog.
It's over. It is all over. And Chief Charlie Norris and the Z-Man really had to come back a long way. No doubt they were behind on points, but they get the victory over a very tough and very impressive Southern Posse.
Yeah, the Southern Posse, I'll tell you what, these guys gave Norris and Zink all they wanted, but Norris and Zink are still in the hopper. All right, there you see Charlie Norris. What a chop. Flattens Junior Wheat. Comes up, double team here, which is legal within the 5-second parameter. Bam, down goes Sonny Trout. And then Charlie Norris, big man. See the momentum he gives Junior Tweet here. Chop, oh, that was right in the face. You can see that.
Absolutely right in the munch. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's toss it to Chrissy with Tito Santana.
I'm here with the American Wrestling Federation World Champion Tito Santana, who has a special announcement to make.
It's a big announcement, Chrissy. You know, the tag team pairings are going to be announced in a few minutes, and I am part of the names that have been submitted. There's a certain individual, a certain friend of mine that was looking for a partner, and I was looking for a partner, so I went up to him, and I'm talking about, yes, Sergeant Slaughter and myself. We have submitted our names into the tag team tournament, and I guarantee you, I made history with the world belt. Can you imagine holding both belts, the World Tag Team Champions, and I've got just the man that'll do it. He was there for me in the singles, and now I'm going to be here for him. We're going to go all the way, baby.
Ted Hunt, especially all those other teams that put their names in the pairings. Sergeant Slaughter, the world champion, Tito Santana, we're coming after you. If our names get picked in that tournament, no doubt in my mind, no doubt in this man's mind, we're going to be the next American Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Arriba! Arriba!
This match is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 252 pounds, Big V Vern Henderson.
One of the legendary Verns.
His opponent from parts unknown, weighing 240 pounds, Super Destroyer number 1.
Yeah, the Super Destroyer, I mean, you see him right there. From what we understand, he is from England. He won't speak to us, but we tried to do a bio on him. There you see both the Super Destroyers.
And certainly, you know, they would like to be part of that tag team tournament. They've submitted their names, as have teams from literally all over the world. The prestigious American Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship Tournament. Oh, man, this guy looks loaded for bear. Before this one gets underway, Terry, a good friend of ours, Mike Helms, a great fan of the American Wrestling Federation and the Warriors of Wrestling, recuperating from an automobile accident in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our very best to you, Mike. Get well.
Yeah, we want you to get well soon and come see us in the American Wrestling Federation. Big V Vern Henderson going up against Super Destroyer number 1, and that's the one with the butcher cut tights, the over-the-shoulder black outfit.
You know, you mentioned just a second ago that we attempted to talk to the Super Destroyer. He wanted nothing to do with us. Try to get a little background on the man, but so be it. We'll see what he can do in the ring here with Big Vern Henderson.
Big Vern is trimmed down. He used to be almost 300 pounds. He's down to about 265 now. And he's a veteran. He's been around, and you don't stay in the AWF if you're not a veteran and you don't have some sort of ability.
And a great series of moves by Henderson.
Yeah, and speaking of people with great moves, let's go right now to a Warriors corner. Why don't you claim this guy? He's from Minnesota, Karch.
All the homework has been done. The names have been submitted to the American Wrestling Federation for that big tag team title tournament. And the Texas Hangmen, with me in their corner, are going to walk out with those championship belts. You can take it to the bank.
Well, there's a very confident Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and yes, the Texas Hangmen certainly tossing their names in for consideration this computerized tournament. I didn't know that Humperdinck was from Minnesota.
That is called selective amnesia. Great armbar there by Vern Henderson, controlling the Super Destroyer, who we haven't seen have a whole lot of offense against the Big V.
No, to this point at least, Henderson has certainly controlled this one. And the Super Destroyer seems completely befuddled there. He has not been able to mount any kind of an offense.
Well, from what we understand, he is from Great Britain. The guy hasn't spoken to us. We have no background on him. Vern Henderson doesn't have any either. Almost a DDT on the arm. Look at that shoulder and the way that elbow's hyperextended. Great move there by the Super Destroyer to get away from the pressure.
And of course, the other Super Destroyer watching intently on the outside of the ring. Referee now has to call for the break as Super Destroyer number 1, I guess we'll call him, made his way to the ropes. Henderson forced to release the hold. I'm very impressed with Vern Henderson. And you said, Terry, that at one time he was about 300 pounds. Now at 265, this is a big man. Very impressive.
Yeah, I like old Big V. I've known him a long time. I've watched him. I've never wrestled against him, but he's almost like a spoiler. He can have a great match against anybody. His win-loss record's about even with wins and losses, and he's got his work cut out for him here because this is almost a mystery man.
Oh, he caught a shot right to the chops that time, right in the mouth. The Super Destroyer out of nowhere unloaded. There's a knee buried into the midsection. And this match has turned around, and Super Destroyer number 2 very pleased with what he sees.
Yeah, but did you see the way Vern worked that arm and had the arm trapped, and that's all he did. Everything the Super Destroyer number 1 is doing is great percussion moves. A knee to the stomach, a punch to the face, and all these shots to the lungs and the kidneys, making it very hard to breathe.
Absolutely, and this one has turned around, and Henderson is in trouble there. Super Destroyer number 1 now methodically stalking, comes in behind.
That's a chicken wing crossface. Turning your head one way and tearing your shoulder the other.
And it is all over, and just that quickly, Old Mo turned around the momentum in this one, and Super Destroyer number 1 gets the victory here over Vern Henderson. And the Destroyers have their name in the hopper for the tag team tournament. Let's go to Chris E. standing by with Chris Adams and Conan 2000.
Two equally competitive individual wrestlers have joined forces to forge what I'm sure will be a strong and mighty tag team. Conan 2000 and gentleman Chris Adams. Well, I'm interested to know what made the two of you decide to team up.
Well, you know, Chrissy, it's a little long story. Over in Europe, something terrible happened, in my opinion. You know, Nails and the Executioner put my ex-partner, Too Cold Scorpio, out of it completely. And I know it was on purpose. So I've known 2000 here for a long, long time. We are good friends, and I feel that with his super strength and my knowledge of professional wrestling and the round system, that we'll make a great team.
You know, I was there, Chris. I saw what happened. And the question everybody had in their minds was Chris Adams still going to be in the tournament? Well, I came to his aid. I'm new to tag team wrestling, but a war is a war, whether there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 people in the ring. And I will be by your side, Chris, no matter what.
We'll be right back.
This match is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first from Tampa, Florida, weighing 230 pounds, Manny Fernandez.
Wait a minute, that's not the Raging Bull.
His opponent from St. Louis, weighing 270 pounds, Ron Powers. And he is accompanied to the ring and standing in his corner, Fidel Sierra.
Oh, this looks diabolical. Fidel Sierra accompanying Big Ron Powers to the ring.
Wait a minute. Fidel Sierra says he's all over Cuba, just that side of the country. Now he's out here with an American from St. Louis, Ron Powers. Explain that to me, Carts.
Well, I think the easiest way to explain it is in terms of dollars and cents, Terry. Fidel Sierra obviously feels that Ron Powers has great potential, and he may talk down the United States and the capitalist system, but when it comes to making our money and going back to Havana, he's certainly not against doing that.
Okay, thank you very much. Right here, Ron Powers won, I think, a diamond in the rough. and maybe Sierra is going to be the guy that makes him into a superstar. I see a lot in Powers.
That is one big man, and Ron Powers more impressive every time we see him. And Manny Fernandez might be in some trouble here.
Yeah, he's outweighed here, but Ron Powers still got to prove himself, as does Fernandez. I'll tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to a Warriors corner with Nails and the Executioner.
Well, I finally found myself a partner that could pull his own weight in the ring. Let me tell you something, Scorpio. We know why you're not here. We busted both your stinking legs in Europe, and we're coming after you, Chris Adams. Me and my partner, the Executioner, we're going to be in that tag team tournament, and we're going to tear everybody apart.
You know, that Nails sounds so wound up, I think his voice is about 9 octaves higher than I've ever heard it before.
He's excited, and he's a very dangerous man no matter how he sounds. Manny Fernandez gesticulating to the crowd. Yeah, don't be worried about the crowd. They're not going to help you. Stay there and look at the man in front of you. 6'5", 275-pound Ron Powers.
Oh, there's no question about this, Fidel Sierra. All right, enough already, for heaven's sake. Sierra, who has made very, very clear his literal hatred for the United States of America. And again, it has to be a bucks issue here, dollars and cents. Ron Powers, every wrestling expert in the world, Terry, belly to back, sees this man with great potential, and obviously so does the Cuban.
I can't believe that Manny Fernandez dropped on the back of his head like that, gets a spin under takedown there, and Ron Powers walks right into it. This kid is either in shock or stunned in daze, because that was incredible recuperation after that back suplex.
And certainly he is being pushed forward by this crowd here. You know, you say the crowd doesn't help, but it's got to be a shot of adrenaline. Oh, big elbow.
I honestly think this kid, Manny Fernandez, is out on his feet. That might have been an instinctive move, that arm drag.
Oh, he ducks the big boot, though. Crossbody block in for the cover. Counter two. Oh, he literally catapulted Manny Fernandez right through the ropes onto the floor. And I don't like Fidel Sierra being in close proximity there.
Yeah, you can see the look of horror on these girls' face when they see this kid fall out like that. Sunset flip over the top, barely made it. Powers hanging onto that top rope, referee.
Count of one again and two. Oh, 2.5.
I love the competition here in the American Wrestling Federation. Nobody thought Manny Fernandez had a chance except Manny Fernandez. Inside cradle, 1, 2, he almost got him.
And another near fall, and you've got to give this young man credit. He is hanging in there, doing a number on the much larger Ron Powers. And to this juncture, I'm not so... Oh, well, just that quickly.
I think Ron Powers underestimated Manny Fernandez. You cannot underestimate anybody in the American Wrestling Federation.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Terry. And now, stop it. Let's get the camera off that man.
Boy, is he optically impaired? Tough to look at.
Right over the top rope, he hung him. And Manny Fernandez right now in a world of hurt. Big Ron Powers, he smells blood. He's like a shark. And he's really taking it to Fernandez. Elbow underneath the throat and a second elbow. Now draping the leg over. He's got Manny Fernandez in real trouble right now.
I don't know if that's going to be a fine by Alperstein, because he said everything's going to be in the rules. Man, look at this guy. You talk about motivation. How could you not be motivated with that guy in your corner?
We're down to just 20 seconds here now. Blocks the attempt at the super. A reversal by Manny Fernandez. This kid has a heart of the size of Texas. Oh, and again a count of 2. What a matchup here. Oh, clothesline. He about beheaded him. This one is winding down here. Round 1.
Yeah, this kid had super effort. And speaking of a great effort, let's go to a Warriors corner with the SST.
The SST. For me, Mako, and it belong Mako the tournament. I say, on the tournament, and we melan a Maua. Champagne, mga ua, lo langi akoa. Lo langi akoa, on the tournament. Mua, tournament, longa tournament, longa kolu. On the SST, Samu, Samoa Savage, on my ua, lao to the top. Palonga my oi, Paul Apperstein.
necesito ainga, oe, para pristine, lalo, the tournament, SST.
Well, I feel like I just got run over by a Samoan bus. Could you explain to me, what did they say? I understood Alperstein, Tournament, Savage, and SST. Is that about all I need to know?
He said that Alperstein was a Savage, and they said they wanted to win the tournament. They're in the hopper to be in the tournament. The pairings later in the hour.
That's what they said, huh? Back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. Tremendous. He rolls it off again. Kato. Oh, just a Kato one there. Oh, big clothesline. Manny Fernandez is giving it 200% here against Ron Powers. Fidel Sierra on the outside of the ring.
You got to figure Sierra's out of his mind. He thought this was going to be a walk in the park, and Manny Fernandez is really wrestling over his head.
Listen to this crowd. Oh,
man.
That'll break the short ribs right there. This one is history and a very impressive victory on the part of Ron Powers, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, speaking of Powers, let's go to Powers and Gunn with Chrissy.
A big win for Ron Powers. I'm sure that he and Fidel have entered their names in our AWF Tag Team Tournament, as I'm sure my guests here, Johnny Gunn and Jimmy Powers, have entered their names as well. As you know, we're getting ready to select the tag team pairings for our AWF Tag Team Tournament coming up next. Johnny, with the amazing amount of talent that have been entered in our tournament, what do you feel your chances are if you are selected?
Well, Chris, the key word there is talent. You look around the American Wrestling Federation, it's full of tag team talent. You have teams like Slaughter, Santana, Valentine, and Rich, Texas Hangman. It's an unending list. But with my man right here, Jimmy Powers, I feel like we got the odds in our favor. Tell him, baby.
You know, Chrissy, I've waited a long time and traveled a lot of miles to get to where I am to today. I've been through a lot of tag team partners, and I finally hit on the right one. Johnny Gunn. I feel confident with Johnny Gunn that we will rise to the top and end up the American Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions.
No disagreement from me there. So stay with us. We'll be right back with the announcements of the AWF Tag Team Tournament pairings.
We're back, and Chrissy, it seems like this is the week that was in the American Wrestling Federation.
Well, Kid, it seems like every week was the week that was here in the AWF. But this week is slightly different because we are here to make the announcements for the tag team pairings of our tag team tournament.
Now, last week, if you weren't with us, President Paul Alperstein announced that the American Wrestling Federation would conduct a tag team tournament to crown the first ever tag team champions. And he set out invitations to teams all over the world. The response was great, Chrissy.
Sure was. We had over 50 teams respond.
In fact, what the American Wrestling Federation has done because of that response, which is indicative of the popularity that the AWF is gaining worldwide, the teams were randomly selected by computer. Now, Chrissy, it's going to be a 12-team tournament, but most interesting are the 4 first-round buys.
That's right, Ken.
And in that kind of a tournament, those can prove to be very important indeed. Now, without further ado, here are the 12 teams that are going to be vying for the first ever AWF Tag Team Championship. Now, the very first team chosen for the AWF Tag Team Tournament, Sir Oliver Humperdinck's Texas Hangman.
And their opponent will be the handsome tag team of Johnny Gunn and Jimmy Powers.
Now our second match, the team managed by Adnan El Casey, Hercules, and Mr. Hughes.
Their opponent will be the Renegades.
Let's go over to the other side of the bracket, the team of Coco Beware and Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Their opponent will be the Super Destroyers.
The other opponents in our fourth match of the tournament, Gentleman Chris Adams and Conan 2000.
Their opponent will be the SST.
Boy, Chrissy, a tough draw for Adams and Conan, as the Wild Samoans are capable of anything. And now let's take a look. As we mentioned earlier, there are 4 all-important buys in this tournament, teams that will automatically be seeded into the quarterfinals. And the first buy goes to Chief Charlie Norris and the Z-Man.
And the second bye goes to the luscious Tommy Rich and Greg the Hammer Valentine, Rico Suave's family.
Some people just have all the luck. Now the third bye, Fidel Sierra and Ron Powers.
The fourth and final bye goes to Nails and Executioner.
And there you have the 12 teams that will be vying for the first ever American Wrestling Federation Tag Team Tournament.
Well, Ken, there you go. It looks like there's a lot of excited teams and a lot of disappointed teams. But I know that I'm happy to see that the tag team of Johnny Gunn and Jim Powers are included on that roster.
Now, why doesn't that surprise me? I'll tell you one team, Christy, that I'm a little disappointed didn't make it was a team of Tito Santana and Sergeant Slaughter. One, because of the friendship I have with Sergeant Slaughter, but imagine the worldwide publicity the American Wrestling Federation would have gotten had Tito Santana, as world champion, also been vying to hold one half of the World Tag Team Championship. That would have really been something to see.
Well, it's going to be something to see anyway, so tune in. Remember, it's all right here on the AWF network, and it starts next week, so tune in.
Chrissy, I think you've just about said it all. We'll be right back.
Well, we've just seen the tournament pairings, and Terry, I am stunned. Some of the teams I anticipated being in the tournament are not drawn.
Yeah, you'd think Sergeant Slaughter and Tito Santana got to be right at the top, didn't make the cut, and the Fabulous Freebirds, nowhere to be found.
But yet, ladies and gentlemen, tremendous pairings, a very interesting tournament coming up. Let's get back to the ring.
This tag team match is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first at a combined weight of 462 pounds, the team of Kenny Kendall and Butch Long.
Kenny Kendall and Butch Long. I know a very, very competent tag team. Favorite of yours.
Presented by the manager, Sheik and Casey. He represents at a combined weight of 590 pounds. Hercules and his partner, the Roughneck, Mr. Hughes.
Well, if you think that looks bad, ladies and gentlemen, wait till you see what comes through that curtain behind him. That's the Sheik Adnan LKC, and he's got the Roughneck Mr. Hughes, 6'4", 360 pounds, and his partner, the mighty Hercules, at 310.
Well, that is a devastating tag team combination, and Sheik Adnan LKC, all these many years in professional wrestling. There's another man who hates the United States of America. He's got a lot of Arab oil money behind him, and he has bought himself 2 tremendous veterans in Mr. Hughes and Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules just winked at you, Cars. Did you see that?
Nah, not at me, he didn't.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say right now that Butch Long and Kenny Kendall, good-looking young athletes. Kenny in the white tights. He's 26 years old. He's been wrestling 4 years. He and Butch Long, Butch is a little bit older and a little bit thicker through the middle, but I think they're going to have to really have a strategy to do well against Hercules and Hughes.
Absolutely, and as this one gets underway, ladies and gentlemen, some hellos to very, very good friends of ours, great wrestling fans from Clearwater, Florida. I'm talking about Stu Arrow, Peter Vettery, and George Cornelius. They love professional wrestling, particularly the American Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, Hercules unloaded with some hard right hands, but isn't there a guy out in California that observes wrestling that you want to say hi to?
I sure do. Our good friend Dave Meltzer out in Campbell, California. Dave, another great fan of the American Wrestling Federation. And Dave, I appreciate the compliment, putting me in the same class as the late, great Marty O'Neill. That's a compliment.
Well, these two guys, Kenny Kendall and Butch Long, compliment each other until Hercules just hit him with that sledgehammer. Unbelievable strength by Hercules.
Well, this man is not going to finesse you. He's just going to drop you on your head, break your nose, and that's the kind of a man he is. And this man is no kinder. I'm talking about the Roughneck Mr. Hughes. Oh, sunglasses, suspenders, ties, street shoes, and all.
He's a sharp-dressed man. He calls himself the Roughneck.
Oh, this is disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting, and I think this is going to be disgusting, too. The Warlord and Gaylord did not get in the tournament. Let's get some comments in the Warriors Corner from Jeff Gaylord.
I've been hearing these rumors. Jeff Gaylord, my partner, the Warlord, are not in the tag team tournament. Do I look worried? I got a little secret for you. The Warlord ain't worried. And one way or another, we're gonna be in that tournament. Count on it.
Well, that's a very confident individual in Jeff Gaylord.
I think misled would be more like it.
You may be right. I know Butch Long was just led right into the feet of Mr. Hughes. And there's a tag to Hercules now.
How can you beat a guy that's that big and that agile? It's unbelievable. Hercules lining up right now for the power bomb. This move is devastating, driving the shoulders and head into the mat.
Well, that's got to do it. And the Sheik very, very happy. Wait a minute now. Hercules, with that look of disdain, he looked over at the Sheik as if to say, another one in the books, give me the paycheck.
That's exactly how they feel. Sheik Adnan LKC's team of Hercules and Hughes are already in the tournament, as is his other team of Ron Powers and Fidel Sierra.
Well, I would say he's certainly set.
Now, speaking of set, here's Hughes setting this young man Butch Long to the ropes. Watch this drop kick. Look at that height. The heel of that boot right in the face. Tremendous athletic ability by a huge man in Mr. Hughes, embarrassing Butch Long, saying, shine my shoes. And right here, Hercules, this move is devastating, driving the shoulders, the cervical vertebrae into the mat. Yeah, they're not the tag team champions yet.
And one man that I certainly do not envy is our good friend Ken Resnick. He's standing by with the Sheik and his army.
Seldom, if ever, can I remember standing with a jovial Sheik Adnan El-Casey, but the way your team, Hercules and the Roughneck, have been destroying their opponents, number one, and perhaps most importantly in your mind, the fact that they were selected early on for the AWF Tag Team Tournament. You've been smiling lately.
Well, I should be smiling all the way to the bank because my man been paid pretty well. And they only have to do one thing for Sheik Adnan Al-Casey is to capture the Tag Team Championship belt. Ain't that right, my man?
That's right. We promised you, Sheik, and when we make a promise, that's a promise, and that's what's going to happen. And when you're happy, that makes me real happy, because I know I'm going to make a lot more money. And these renegades, I don't care who they are. Nobody's bigger, and nobody's better. Right, big man?
That's right. You guys deal with the best tag team in the land. You mess with us, you go down. This man pays us a lot of money to take people out. You're going down with the sidewalk slam.
We'll be back.
Attention, I'm Sergeant Slaughter. I may not be in the tag team tournament with Tito Santana, but I'm coming up next. I'll be here. Have I made myself clear? Good, then don't touch that dial. That's an order.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back with the Warriors of Wrestling and the American Wrestling Federation.
This match is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first from Tampa, Florida, weighing 241 pounds, he is Lightning Foot Jerry Flynn.
Lightning Foot Jerry Flynn from Tampa, Florida.
From Paris,
what do you know about him?
South Carolina, weighing 305 pounds, he is America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stand up and salute. Here is the man himself, America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter, in the American Wrestling Federation. And you have to believe that Sarge is just a little bit disappointed at not being in the Tag Team Championship Tournament along with Tito Santana. But I guarantee you, whether it be in singles or tag team competition, this man is one of the great ones and a force to be reckoned with in the world of professional wrestling.
Are you done kissing up yet?
I like Sergeant Slaughter. This is a great patriot and a great wrestler.
You know he's a brigadier general?
Is that right?
Well, maybe he's more like he's generally in the brig.
Oh, Terry.
No, I'm just kidding. Sergeant Slaughter's a great wrestler, and he is a little disappointed about not getting in the tournament, but he's been around wrestling. Not everything goes your way. He doesn't want anything given to him. He's the kind of guy that wants to fight for what's right, and he knows he'll get a chance to fight for those tag team championship titles someday.
And look at the response that the Sarge gets from the fans about ringside, handing out the American flag. They absolutely love this man. He'll fight for his country. And certainly a man that he has been going back and forth with is that Fidel Sierra. And I guarantee you, when it comes to the United States of America defending the honor of this country, there's no man that you want in the ring doing it for you more than Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter going up against Jerry Flynn. He's from Tampa, Florida. He's 27 years old, wrestles over in the Orient a lot, a martial arts expert, a crossover athlete. See, those are called speed kicks. Sergeant Slaughter has been all around the world. If this kid is new to Sergeant Slaughter, maybe this kid hadn't been scouted.
Oh, that quick, and he followed in and missed, and now the Sarge is on fire.
Sarge is on fire, but right now, let's see, we have an opportunity to talk to the Sheik with Fidel and Ron Powers.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Things are coming our way. We got Bide and my men already in. I'm going to tell you what, Coco Beware. Tony USA Atlas, it doesn't matter if it's you or the Destroyers. I don't care. Viva la Fidel, we're going to take it all the way.
Terry, a very interesting scenario. The Sheik has two teams in this tournament. What does he do if they wind up facing each other?
You mean Hughes and Hercules might be going against Ron Powers and Sierra? Maybe they'll eliminate each other. That's a perfect scenario.
Oh, isn't it, though? It's not a perfect scenario right now for Jerry Flynn. The Sarge has really unloaded. There's the cannon, the Slaughter cannon.
Boy, Jerry Flynn with that martial arts background, all he's learned how to do is take punishment.
And punishment in the form of the Cobra Clutch right in the middle of the ring. There is nowhere, and I mean nowhere, for Jerry Flynn to go. And a very impressive victory by America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter.
It was very impressive. Jerry Flynn lit a fire, lightning foot kicking Sarge about 10 times in the corner. And then after that, it was all Sergeant Slaughter.
That's right, Sarge. You tell him. Absolutely number one. And again, we have to feel for the Sarge. He wanted so badly to be part of the Tag Team Championship tournament along with Tito Santana. But look at this crowd. The response that they are giving to Sergeant Slaughter, a standing ovation.
Unbelievable. Sergeant Slaughter standing on that turnbuckle. This is in digital, only in the American Wrestling Federation. Cutting line technology, and it's also the wrestling of the 21st century. Sergeant Slaughter, your hero.
You know, I'm getting goosebumps. There's a man very proud to talk to the Sarge. The reaction that this man gets, they absolutely love him.
All right, there you see him handing out those flags. The people love the Sarge. And when he gets in there and gets that Cobra Clutch on people, that's him. Now, this is what lit the fire under him. Speed kicks to the stomach. Sarge comes out of the blocks a little bit slow. Lightning Foot tries to take over, but then after that, boom, makes a mistake. Sergeant Slaughter takes care of business. And this young man right here, elbow, bang. Ooh, man, right to the sternum. I'd like to do that to you, Cars. Stop. Then the Slaughter cannon. Look at this, right on the back of his head and his shoulders. Then he lines him up for that Slaughter. You know what it is? It is the Cobra Clutch. Nobody's gotten out of that. Come here, Carson. Let me try to get that on you.
You keep your hands off of me. This was the beginning of the end here for Jerry Flynn. No question about that.
Give me that arm.
Hey, let go of me. The Sarge with another one in the books. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, as you see Sarge celebrating the victory, let's toss it to our friend Ken Resnick. He's standing by with Chief Charlie Norris and the Z-Man, Tom Zink. Take it away, Ken Resnick.
He is the one and only G.I. Joe American hero, Sergeant Slaughter. Another win for the man out of Parris Island. Now, one of the lucky dozen teams to make it into the tag team tournament, Chief Charlie Norris and Tom Zink. But Tom, you two will face the winner of the Texas Hangman, Johnny Gunn, Jimmy Powers match. If Gunn and Powers should advance, I mean, they're very good friends of you two.
You already know that. That's what's really been racking my brain. But as you well know, Ken, it's all about the gold. We're lucky to be in this tournament, and we're going after the belts. Jimmy Powers and Johnny Gunn, wish you the best of luck. But if it comes down to Charlie Norris and myself wrestling him, Ken, hey, all friendships are going to be aside, Kenny. You can guarantee that.
Charlie, it's still got to be tough to get ready to battle friends.
When Tom Zink called me and told me he needed a tag team partner, I said, there's going to be some people in trouble. We come from Minnesota, and you all know all the guys that come from Minnesota. We're going to come in the ring. No friendships. I don't care. Man, we're going after the belts. Tom, are you on fire like I am?
I'm on fire. Tom Zink and Chief Charlie Norris. We'll be right back.
I'm the Black Top Bully, and the American Wrestling Federation better watch out, because when I drive my truck through here, I'm gonna run everybody over.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, Terry, the Blacktop Bully will be here. The Renegades, whoever they are, and Here's the pairings for the championship tournament.
You see, Norris and Zink, Rich and Valentine, Sierra, Powers, and Nails and the Executioner all have buys, and you can see the matchups other than that.
This is going to be absolutely tremendous. The Hangman, Gunn, and Powers, a great matchup there.
Yeah, it is, and the bottom line is every one of these matches is going to be on television, and there will be an ending to each and every match if it has to end up in a referee's decision.
For Ken Resnick, Chrissy, and Terry Taylor, this is Mick Karsh. So long, everybody, till next week with the Warriors of Wrestling.
You've made the right choice with the American Wrestling Federation. So until next week, you're dismissed.